Hey all, here are OS Reviews. You're watching our hands-on review of the EARISE DT21. This is an outdoor speaker system that can be used as a karaoke machine. It includes one wireless microphone in the box and can connect to two more wired microphones. It can also be used as a loudspeaker for musical instruments like electronic guitars, and it can also be used as a regular Bluetooth loudspeaker. It even includes a shoulder strap in the box that allows you to wear it on your back, just like a regular backpack. It includes an LED light strip which will flash and strobe to the music that you're playing or listening to. It includes lots of fine adjustments for things like bass, for treble, for mids. If you want to amplify the sound up and down, you can fine-tune all of those properties. It also has a built-in FM radio as well, and also has built-in NFC. Accessories include the power adapter, which is using a proprietary round plug as opposed to micro or USB Type-C, which is a little bit of a shame, but it is what it is. We have also a quick user manual. We have the aforementioned wireless microphone, which by the way takes two AA batteries, which are not included. There's an auxiliary 3.5mm cable if you want to use this as a wired speaker using your phone or computer's headphone jack if you don't want to use Bluetooth. And there's also the aforementioned backpack shoulder straps. Taking a closer look at the design of the speaker, even though it's much larger than your typical mini Bluetooth speaker, it's not quite as heavy as you'd expect. The frame of this speaker is still made out of plastic, so it's still relatively light. What's neat is on both sides of the speaker we have access to rubber bumps, which allows it to sit flat in both the portrait orientation or this horizontal orientation. The soft touch rubber feet on both sides allows it to comfortably sit without moving around or damaging any floor or surface that you're putting it on. Flipping it around, we have access to the handlebar, which makes it easy to lift and take with you when on the go. Or it can also be used to attach to two straps for the backpack, one on the top and one on the bottom. And further down here, we have access to the fine manual adjustments. That includes a small LED display which will show its status when you turn it on. And by the way, there is a power on-off switch towards the bottom of the unit. I can flick it on and you see the LED strip turn on. And right now it's going to be in the Bluetooth pairing mode by default. On the side here, we can also pop in a micro SD card or a USB thumb drive. So if you have music loaded onto a memory stick, you can play it back on the device directly like a MP3 player. There's also controls here for playing and pausing the music and skipping tracks for controlling what you have loaded onto your memory stick, and I can tap on the mode key to cycle through the various features. For example, tapping on it once. This is going to be in the radio mode, and tapping on it again. Now it's going to be the auxiliary mode, so line in as opposed to Bluetooth. That's going to be using the 3.5mm jack here if you want to plug it into the headphone port of your phone or MP3 player, as opposed to, again, Bluetooth. We have the antenna here for the radio, and then on the side we have all the knobs that are controlling the properties of the music. That includes the master volume, treble, bass, guitar volume, as well as the echo effect, and the volume for the individual microphones can also be adjusted. Finally, there are controls on the very top which are much easier to see and access for the user. There's also the spot for the NFC, so you can tap your phone here to pair it with Bluetooth. Now the controls on the top here are very similar to the ones tucked away on the back. They allow you to skip tracks, play and pause the music, go between different modes, again going from radio to Bluetooth to line in to micro SD card, and you can also tap on record if you're in the radio mode and you want to save whatever radio content you're listening to. So it's pretty robust, and it's also backlit as well, which makes it easy to hit even when you're in the dark. And now flipping it around, we can see that the parameters of the speaker are also backlit using LEDs, which gives it a very beautiful effect, especially in the dark. I'll also point out that there's a slot on the top of the speaker, which can be used to hold a tablet up to 9.7 inches like an iPad in the portrait orientation comfortably if you have something like sheet music or maybe the lyrics of a song, and you can simply rest it there as you perhaps sing with your karaoke, or you can use it just to dock your device when not in use. Before we launch into a demo of the audio quality, I just want to briefly take a closer look at the microphone. Overall, it's a pretty comfortable size, but it's definitely not the most premium mic in the world. It is, again, made predominantly out of plastic, so it feels a lot lighter than you'll expect. Simply turn it on, and from here you'll see a small LED pop, and that means it's turned on. Now the microphone can be activated in any of the modes the speaker is in. So it can be in the Bluetooth mode, the Bluetooth can be off, it can be in the aux mode, it can be the memory card mode, the radio mode, and in any of those modes you can turn it on at any time and basically begin talking into it. A few takeaways. The audio quality sounds pretty good, and we were only at about 30% volume in that demo. So at 100% volume, it definitely fills up an entire large room. Not quite a full stadium, I'd say, but for a stage, a larger venue or room, even a conference room, will surely suffice with this device. Definitely works really well in terms of the volume output. It has a 8-inch subwoofer, so it is very much powerful, especially compared to the majority of Bluetooth speakers, which typically have passive radiators that definitely aren't as punchy. For playing back those really heavy EDM type music, you can definitely use it for party situations. It can be your one and only party speaker, and it will suffice, and it will last for about 2 hours on the battery life if you're blasting it out on full volume. If you're at medium volume, about 50% playing back regular pop music, it can last for about 20 hours before you need to recharge it again. Now, the charging time is a little bit longer than I'd prefer. You need to charge it for about 12 hours or so before the battery reaches 100%. Now, the one thing to keep in mind, though, is this is really meant as a party speaker, something that's used in really large venues, as opposed to having the best technical quality or highest resolution audiophile grade. I say that because if I play back a track here, and I kind of crank up the volume, you can hear how there's a bit of static. Just like the Bluetooth speaker, the same deal goes with the wireless microphone. There's still a little bit of static that you can hear, but overall it's not too big of an issue, especially since it gets loud enough. As long as your expectations are modest and reasonable, and you're not expecting this to be, really the most professional solution in the world, because those can cost for thousands of dollars. Again, this is only a fraction of the price. I think you'll be fairly satisfied, and it's really a lot of fun to play around with. If you do plug in wired microphones into the back, it does improve the audio quality a bit. So be sure to check out more details if you're interested in the links down below. But for now, that's been our video. Overall, I think this is a pretty fun, portable speaker to play around with, really meant for outdoors, for parties, anywhere where you need a lot of extra volume and punch, especially with bass. It can be used again as a Bluetooth speaker, as a karaoke machine, as an amplifier for a guitar, lots of uses packed into one. That's been the EARISE DT21 portable PA outdoor speaker system.